Hey, what's up guys? Today's video, what I'd like to share about is this amp selector from specialy-av. Now I bought this thing for $60 before tax. This thing is for if you have two audio systems, like maybe if you want to separate the home theater audio system and music audio system. So for example, just like me, I just bought the Class D amplifier from Buckeye Amps, the NC502 MP. I actually don't want to connect that amplifier to the AVR because the sound of the AVR, it actually sounds really terrible. Even though you're connecting it to the preamps, it's not really as good as connecting to a DAC, connecting to a computer. I'm not saying all AVRs are like that. So for me, the Yamaha RX A2070, it sounded really terrible for music playback. But I think some other brands are actually really good, like maybe more expensive models that they have. But I don't have other AVR, so I only have the Yamaha. So I really thought that it's the best way to separate the home theater amp and the amp for music listening. So the product's actually well packed during the unboxing, as you can see. Actually, a friend of mine advised me not to go with this type of configuration. He suggested that I should just go by the input, so select to the home theater or the DAC. And he actually said that it's a big mistake going this, because he went to the reviews on Amazon and he saw a lot of complaints in there that their amplifier are actually acting up, shutting down, as you can see in the reviews. So before I saw this device in Amazon, I actually thought of building this myself, but it's just a hassle to finding a good case, and it's just a lot of work. But it's actually, this is just really simple. Every switch is just a double pull and double throw. So I went to check on Amazon to see if there are actually ready-made. So fortunately I found this. So I thought that I'm still gonna go with this. I think there's something inside that they actually added that made the amplifier behave that way, because in my mind it should be just a switch and banana plugs, that's it, and the case and the enclosure, nothing else. But when I open it, there's actually 100 ohms resistors on as load on each terminal, and that's actually, I think that's really bad. I'm not sure why the manufacturer designed this way. Maybe there's something I don't really know. From what I know, amplifiers that really needs a load when you turn it on, or else it's gonna go bad or something bad happens, is that the tube amps. I did not really own a tube amp before in my life, so I cannot really say that it's gonna ruin your tube amp. But from what I read and what my friends say, tube amps don't like without a load. So maybe that's why they put those 100 ohms resistors in there. But for Class D and Class AB, you don't really need those. But I could be wrong. Maybe there are Class AB and Class D amplifiers that you really need to have a load in there. But for me, I'm really sure that my amplifiers don't really need the 100 ohms resistors load for this kind of device. So I took them out. As you can see, they actually works just fine. But yeah, I don't really like the 100 ohms load in there. So if you have 8 ohm speakers and then you're gonna add the 100 ohms resistors in there, then it's gonna become 7.41 ohms. Just a little bit difference, but if you're gonna have a 4 ohms speaker, then that's gonna be like 3.8. And I think some amplifiers are actually sensitive with that. So that's why I don't like the 100 ohms in there. So that's why I took it out. And then actually resistors as a load, a real resistor, than a speaker, compared to a speaker as a load on your amplifier, is actually not the same. If you're gonna load an 8 ohms resistor, a real 8 ohms resistor on your amplifier, from what I remember, it was actually bad when I tried it a long time ago. But don't quote me on that. Maybe I remember that wrong. So guys, if you know something about that, can you leave in the comments below what actually happens if you put a real 8 ohms load resistor on the amplifier, on the speaker terminal? Will it gonna make your amplifier go bad? Does it really trigger the short circuit protection, or it's just gonna be fine? Yeah, my memory could be really wrong about that. So this thing is rated at 100 watts, but I think it's because of the resistor, because the switch itself is actually 16 amperes at 125 volts AC, and that's actually really a lot for an amplifier for the output stage. And especially if you're gonna be listening just at home, yeah, I don't think you're gonna hit that unless you don't have neighbors. Then you're gonna hit that, you might gonna hit that limit. So yeah, one more issue on this device is that, so the switch on the left side is actually just okay, but on the right side it's actually a little bit wobbly. As you can see here, it's actually a little bit wobbly, but it's not really that obvious. But I'm just nitpicking in here, but it's not really that of a big deal. But I can see some people that is meticulous about these things, it might bother them. But I'm not sure if I have just a bad unit. Maybe the person who was making the hole for the switch made it too big, so that's why it's wobbly, because the other one is fine. So yeah, I've been using this amplifier selector for over a week already, and then I don't really hear a difference on sound quality. It sounds the same for me, and my amps is actually working well. It doesn't really harm the amp, no issue in there. So would I recommend buying this thing? If you really must use this thing, if you have class AB and class D, I would remove the resistors. But please take that as a grain of salt, because I could be wrong. Maybe the resistor actually have a reason to have in there. But for tube amps, definitely don't remove the resistor. So if your amp is okay when you turn it on without a speaker loaded, then you can remove the resistors installed in this unit. So another use case that I have thought for this device is actually if you wanna AB. So if you wanna compare two pairs of speakers, you connect the amplifier here, so right and left channels. So the first pair of speakers here, and then the second pair of speakers here. So in that way you can actually switch right away which one is better for your taste. Yeah, if you just want to test and then have it switch right away, this is actually a good device for that. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this video helpful. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and subs if you love it. And as always, guys, stay busy, safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.